Hey y'all, welcome to What's Jen Got to Say. Y'all please like, share, subscribe. I'm gonna continue talking about my life growing up and to this day. I'm gonna be very blood raw with everything. I'm not sugarcoating nothing. Something I stand by is if you can't be real with yourself, you can't be real with anyone. So that's what I stand on. I'm gonna be talking about when I became a ward of the state at 14. And that all happened, again, there was a lot of substance abuse in my family. And because of what had happened with that guy molesting me at 13, my mother got a following charge. I don't really know the details of it. I just know she had possession of cocaine. And because of all of those incidents, DCF removed me and my sister out of her custody. Again, my sister always had the benefit of having her real father in her life. And so immediately she got to go live with him. I did get to live with an aunt it was probably like a month. But at one point I had got into my great grandma and I tried to cut my wrist. So they Baker acted me. So then because of that, she had a young child, which is my cousin. After I got out of the psych ward, they sent me to a residential, which is one of them group home things. I was 14. Eventually, I just started running away. And if I could get any of the girls to run away with me, we would run away, go to the pharmacy and get over-the-counter medication and get high. And I continued doing that for a while. I never ran away for a long time. I would run away and then just come back. But there was this one particular time where I was really close to this girl. I'm not going to say her name because I still have her as a friend on Facebook. But anywho, we ran away and this guy, I don't really know how the fuck, but he loaned us his cell phone, and told us to wait for him at the mall. It's we used his phone. I don't know why, in my naive mind, I'm oh, well, he loaned us his cell phone. He's gonna come back, or I don't really know what I was thinking. Anyways, when he got out of work, he met with us and stuff, and I remember just going with her and him on the metro rail to Overtown. And if some of y'all are familiar with Overtown in Miami, that's the last place a little 14-year-old needs to be. So he takes us to get something to eat. People make they make food on the streets to sell. And at one point, he grabs me and her and tells us to duck, and I was just okay. So we run behind the side of the building, and we just start seeing gunshots. And I was just oh, look, a butterfly. Sorry. Yeah, I have really bad eyesight, so I just remember seeing the gunshots firing. And I don't know, I've never seen nothing like that in my life. Nobody got killed, thank God, but... So, eventually he tells us that we need to lie and say that we're in college, because I guess he lived with his mom or some shit like that. So we had to cut through the living room to get to his room. So we did just that. I really did not want to lie, because I still look like a little girl, kind of. So just imagine what I look like at 14. Whatever. He keeps talking, saying stuff that. I'm not gonna lie, he was more after me than her. And I don't mean that in any, like, arrogant way. Like, you'll see where I'm going with this. He keeps talking about he could treat me like a princess and I can have whatever I want and all this stuff. And I was just like, I wasn't buying it, even though I was a runaway at the time. Eventually, I started seeing what he, meant by that. And he had, like, a big mattress on the floor. And me and my friend and him were, like, laying there. And at one point, like, how else can I say? He wanted to have sex with me. And I was not having it. Like, I was scared. Like, I no longer wanted to be there anymore. And I just remember my friend seeing how scared I was, and she whispered in my ear, and she was like, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. I didn't want her to do it. I didn't want any of us. Like, what the fuck? We're 14 years old. This is not what we're here for. So I remember vividly, like, they were literally, like, right next to me. And he's doing it so hard to her, like, you could just hear her head just banging against the wall, like, really hard. I had to deal with that kind of guilt for a long time because I didn't want her to do it. And I don't know, I still let it, like, affect me for a while. At one point, I asked him to use my phone, and at this point, he was trying to manipulate me and, not wanting me to use his cell phone and all that stuff. And I remember calling, like, one of my old friends who I grew up with in Miami, trying to see if they can come get me, if I can go to their house. And, like, he starts, like, touching me while I'm on the phone, and I start crying. And from that moment on, I was like, fuck this shit. And I told my friend, I was like, you need to come with me. I'm not leaving you. You're coming with me. And she knew I wasn't playing. Like, we left together. And, like, I don't know. It was, like, the worst area to be in. I know this can happen anywhere. But, like, even as we're leaving this house, a freaking dude is in the car, like, psst, trying to get us in the car, like. Now that I'm older, I realize that he was not trying to do anything more than, like, pimp us out. I just don't understand the world sometimes. After that, I got sent to, it was called JARF. It's in Jackson Memorial in Miami. And I spent there 3 months. I have another friend who's on my Facebook. We used to start, I don't want to say little riots, but, like, the boys and the girls were separated. And, like, we used to have, like, code blues. I think code reds. I remember code blues specifically. Like, I was really, like, what's the word I'm looking for? I was a disturbed child. Like, I seen things that you don't really see in movies. So, yeah, I acted out on it. I used to get restrained to the bed, and they'll give me a shot on my ass and to calm me down. And I used to scream so loud, like, they could not fucking stand me. Because, like, when I screamed just to piss them off. But I was disturbed, but I mean, what can I say? By the way, yes, I am drinking because it's kind of, like, hard to, like remember this stuff. Again, I'm doing this because I know I was not the only person in foster care. Like, again, I'm not doing this for attention, period. Like, I'm doing this for people to relate and just feel comfortable, you know? So after that, I get sent to another program. And this one was in Pembroke Pines. And I didn't act out that much there. I did get in my first fight or whatever. Point is, I spent a year and a half in foster care programs, whatever. My mom finally gained custody of me. I was like turning 15. I had a lot of resentment towards my mom and my dad because I felt like the little black sheep of the family. Like, nobody wanted me. Nobody wanted to take custody of me. Like, but I mean, that was that. So this is just part of the video because it part of my storyline because it was a part of my life. So I'll be making another video probably on when I left my mom's care at 15, which was a choice I totally made. And then maybe when I had a child at 17 and how I got the idea to get pregnant. But yeah, I guess like you never really, like, I just blocked it out that much, but I don't know. I think like kind of remembering all this is just reminds me of how much like I don't want to be with the guy. Don't get it twisted now. I'm not gonna sit here and act like I've never been with guys, but in not relationship wise, I was like the Black Widow. I sought out my prey, dominated it, and threw it away. Just being real. But as far as like being in love and getting married and all that shit, it's gonna be a while. But anyways, remember, y'all subscribe because this is just the beginning of my stories, and they're factual stories. So stay tuned. Thank you.